Hi guys, welcome to today's video. We're all about consumer behavior, consumer intentions, where we look at different sectors and see what people are purchasing. So for today's one, we'll kind of focus on the car industry. I mean, we spend a lot on cars. We spend up to 18% to 20% depending on the individual of our monthly incomes. Some people spend that on cars. So looking at the September data in the UK, you can rightly see the overall overview of the new car sales. So people spend a lot on new cars. I mean, not everyone goes for old cars. So you can see about 312,000 cars were newly registered. So these are new cars that were purchased by people, and it's pretty an outstanding amount. It's a lot of cars basically, and you can see how it's you can see the breakdown by fuel type. See, by petrol itself, it's gone up by 2.4%. You can see it's pretty compelling, and you can see diesel has gone down by almost 28%, and there are loads of reasons for that. So we look at not just what people are buying, we look at some of the data, and also try to understand why these I mean, just build a bit of understanding around the data. So you can see from this example, the hybrid cars have gone higher. It's increased by 23.5%, and it's quite interesting to understand why that's happened. I mean, there's so many reasons, but I think one of the notable reasons I'll say, you got a grant. So generally in the UK, you can see there are grants given by the government at the point of purchase. So you can see there are discounts that you can you could be entitled to basically. One is called the band one discount of about £3,750. So if it's for this sort of vehicles, I mean, go to the gov.uk plug-in vehicle page, you see some of the discounts that you can use against buying an EV vehicle. You can see some of the brands there. For example, you got Citroen. There are lots of brands here listed on this list. You got Renault. So I think I think generally these discounts, these electric and hybrid vehicle grants, most likely has also helped to increase the number of sales year on year in the UK when it comes to the EV perspective. So you can see all these numbers are going high. All these three numbers are going high. Diesel has gone down. A lot of charges and a lot of taxes on diesel. So that's pretty not a surprise by fuel type. You can also see generally. You can also see. I mean, you can see the breakdown, the actual numbers by fuel type, and then you can also go on to the sales type. I mean, that's not an area I want to look into, but you can see that. You can see some of them are private users. You can see the number of people privately buying cars for personal use. So you can see how that's increased year on year as well. But the interesting one I want to go into is the by brand. So some brands are generally, you can tell some brands have sold more cars or they've had more sales than the other brands, and there's so many reasons for that. So you can just see some examples. Some of the brands, like BMW, for example, almost 40% year-on-year increase in sales. That is crazy. And the other brands like Chevrolet, it's Citroen is the French manufacturer, is gone down 36%, which is a lot. You can see Dacia gone up slightly, and you can also see Ford is gone up, not by a lot. And the other notable brands like Honda's gone down, which is surprising. Hyundai is also gone down like year on year, and Jaguars remain constant. And that this could be so many reasons for reduction in sales by brand. There could be, I mean, it could be reasons like it could be down to the manufacturers in terms of do they produce more sort of EV vehicles for that year itself, or even things like safety as well too. So let's just explore some of the reasons. So you can see this article on Consumer Reports where they talked about some of the exciting new cars in the year itself. So you can just run through this report. It's quite insightful. Talks about new cars on the horizon. So some of the new cars that you should be looking out for. So sometimes some brands release cars late in the year, and if they release cars late in the year, customers might be waiting or holding off from buying the cars until the later part of the year. But September, generally, you can see some of these cars are either launched or are going to be coming out anytime from now. So you see Audi's got a couple of models, Audi A6, Audi A6 e-tron. You can see Audi Q5, new model. So all of these ones now some of these are actually available. So sometimes if a brand releases more new models, like very competitive model, like it might be very expensive, it might be very energy efficient models. So some of the reasons why a brand sale might go up and down might be down to the models, like the how competitive and how the volume of models and affordability of those models. That's also very key. There may be also the safety as well too. So you can see on the same consumer reports, the running report on safety, where they check the cars and see how safe they are by brand. And these safety checks are really quite important. So some people are buying cars not just for the looks, but also when it comes to a crash, how safe are these cars? And these cars are independently tested and evaluated based on things like the headlight systems, and to see also things like emergency braking. So the cars are judged against some of these I'll say reasons. And you can see some of the top cars that when it comes to safety, like Acura, you can see Honda, you can see a couple of Honda and Hyundai cars in the mid-size cars. I consider to be one of the safest. And the small SUVs, you can see like Honda, Hyundai, Mazda. A few of those brands, like Hyundai, Mazda, we're almost considered to be very safe. So you can see these, you can see mid-size SUVs as well. You can see Ford, you can see Mazda, a lot of these. So the car safety, the new models released in the year, and also things like the grants available to those cars. So you can see from the gov.uk website, you can see if a brand, for example, has a higher grant available, that brand might sell more. So you see Citroen has 1,500, which is band 2. So you can see, I mean, not just Citroen, you got Peugeot, and sometimes it's also the cost of the car. So if a brand has a grant, for example, from the government, so if it means you're buying an EV vehicle or hybrid vehicle for a particular brand, and you get a government grant, that might motivate more buyers. Or if there are newer models, that could also motivate more buyers. So this is a very interesting stats in terms of from SMMT to see what sort of cars are people buying. We can see all of these. You can see top models as well. So you can see top brand models. So Kia Sportage sells a lot. I mean, I'm not surprised because loads of like fleet vehicles and Ubers and a lot of like when it comes to like public transports, commercial like taxis use Kia Sportage a lot. Sorry, it might be down to fuel efficiency, it might be down to compactability, it might be down to durability. It could be any sort of reason. So Kia Sportage is number 1, not a surprise. Ford Puma is number 2. Nissan Qashqai is number 3. So they're the top 3 newly registered brands. So you can see there are other brands in there, and I'll say some of them are SUVs, not a surprise, because one, it could be company, it could be family cars. Maybe you had more babies during the year. But this is just an interesting exploration into consumer behavior, why people buy cars, why possible motivations as to why people purchase certain brands more than the rest of brands. So in this channel, we'll be exploring why you buy what you buy. It could be across, it could be travel, it could be automobile, it could be insurance, it could be different sectors, it could be real estate. But we just want to understand some of the context around sales. We'll get data from websites, public websites, like it could be gov.uk, it could be ONS, it could be any public statista. We'll look at very authoritative data sites and just explain some of the reasons or motivations around buying and purchasing behavior. Okay, until next time, I don't really know what you can leave a comment and share what you think the possible reasons for the increase in EV sales, decrease in diesel sales, or increase in a certain brand over the rest. Okay, until next time, keep buying but staying informed as you make your purchases. Thank you so much.